My next guest is my sister Donna. Hello, Donna.
Hi.
We've had a lot of fun we're surrounded right now by all of her albums. So let's go ahead and dive in and put us in the decade that you were born in. So what year were you born?
1956.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dayton, Ohio. I was in high school in the 70s, so it was a fun time for me.
Yes, that was a fun time. What's your first music memory?
Well, this microphone is reminding me of one,
Okay.
but my first music memory is actually probably mom and dad singing to you when you were a baby.
Oh,
Yeah. Daddy's gone a hunting. And,
yeah.
And that probably is first. And Daddy would whistle.
Yes.
They would sing around the house, and Daddy would whistle. He had a garden. He was whistling when he was working in his garden.
Yeah.
And then going to church, going to Mass. The Catholic Mass was in Latin back then, so some of the songs were in Latin. And I loved the music. I loved especially the Christmas carols.
Yeah.
And the May crowning, anything that was honoring Mary. I especially loved those songs.
You were part of a May crowning because I remember you were in 8th grade, and I guess I was in 5th, and my class got to go out and watch just because you were in it. You were my sister, but I remember that. That
was at St. Helens, and we had a May crowning. I'm sure most Catholic schools did. We had an outdoor statue of Mary, and we would honor her in the month of May. And I was part of theirs. Yeah. I think the teachers, the 8th grade teachers, picked 3.
Yeah.
Why I got picked, I don't know. But
you were popular. Let's just go ahead and say it.
Wait, I have to tell you about my microphone memory.
Okay, your microphone.
Okay, so this microphone that I'm talking into reminds me of 5th grade slumber party.
Oh my gosh.
At my house, and all girls just sitting around, and we would take the fireplace poker and use it as a microphone. And my 2 songs were Aretha Franklin, Respect.
Oh my gosh.
And Leslie Gore, It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want to.
Oh, that is fun. I wish we had videos of that. That would have been great. It's like before karaoke. You had a fireplace poker.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a good time. Good memory.
That is good. Okay. What music did your parents, which are my parents, what did our parents listen to?
Of course, Daddy liked country and western, as it was called then.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, as he called Dolly Puddin'.
Yeah.
And, he liked country.
Yes.
Mom liked, for what I can remember, I know Nat King Cole was a favorite.
Yes.
She liked kind of, the dance, music. Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. I remember as she got older too, she loved Anne Murray.
Oh yeah, I actually took her to see Anne Murray at the Fraser Pavilion. Yeah.
Oh, you took Mom?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't remember that. I didn't even know the phrase was there that long that Mom would be able to go, which is funny.
Yeah.
The other funny thing when I was thinking about us and having a sibling on is that I know that siblings, you have the longest relationship in your life with siblings. And except when your mom's 92.
That's a pretty long relationship.
Yeah, so it's not really working for us.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, okay. So how did you listen to music? When you first started listening?
Almost everyone had radios. Radios were bigger before TV.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a TV when I was growing up. I'm not that old.
Yeah.
But radio and car radio. And back then you didn't have a playlist. You had to listen to whatever came on. So, but there was a lot more radio stations. So if you heard a song and you didn't like that one, you just push a button and go to a different station.
Right. That's
or
true.
a commercial's on, you switch to another one. So car radio, of course, Daddy always wanted to listen to his country. And if we were picking up my friends to go to a football game, we couldn't listen to country, Dad.
So embarrassing.
I know. And then there was a lot of TV variety shows.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Sonny and Cher. I can think
Sonny
of
and
that.
Cher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even before that, like Ed Sullivan and Dean Martin had a show.
Yes.
And I don't know. There was a lot of them. So we listened. Laugh-In was one. Yeah. So we listened to those. And I do remember, I think I was in about 6th grade, and I got the cutest little transistor radio.
Yeah.
And I would take it outside with me if I was going to lay out in the sun. Or put it in my basket on my bike if I was going to go for a bike ride.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So in the 70s, that's when like car stereos and
FM.
Yes, you had FM stereo. And so you had some cool cars. I just wanted to talk about that. So you had a Mustang Cobra.
Yeah.
And then you had a Trans Am with the big eagle. What was that bird on the? Both of them have? What was a Cobra that had a snake?
Yeah, there was a snake of all things on it. Yeah. And I don't know why I bought that little Mustang.
Yeah. But that was a cool car. Now, did you total both of those?
Thank you for sharing. No, I only totaled one. It wasn't my fault. A lady went through a red light and hit me. I looked almost as bad as my car, not quite. But the Trans Am I actually sold after I got married.
Okay.
And I bought baby furniture and a washer and dryer.
With the
times
Trans Am money?
The times have changed.
You went from a Trans Am to 3 children under 3.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, do you remember your first album that you bought?
Yes. First album I bought. I babysit a lot. So I was probably, I know I was in junior high. So I don't know if I was 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
I bought Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
And you have it here still.
Yeah, I have it here. And we actually sang that song, Bridge Over Troubled Water, at my 8th grade graduation. So it always makes me think of that.
Oh, that's cool. And do you remember your first concert?
Yes, my first concert, I went with a boy. So I'm guessing I was 16 because I had to be 16
Who was the boy?
I don't remember.
Again, she was popular. All right.
It was Bread.
Okay. Was it in Dayton?
It was at Hare Arena, which is where I've seen the majority of my concerts.
And that's gone now.
I know. They tore it down. So a lot of people in the Dayton area have had a lot of memories there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay.
So that was my...
Oh, that's cool. Now, you've been to a lot of concerts, and can you figure out about how many? It's going to be hard.
I would guess 25 to 30, maybe.
Okay, because it seems like more to me, but...
And, I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. I went a lot in high school and shortly after high school, but then, after that, I didn't go as much until they built the phrase in my neighborhood.
Right.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. What were some of the, most memorable... I think I'm skipping. Yeah, it was the most memorable. So because you've seen some really cool people.
I probably saw the Eagles the most because I really love them.
Yeah.
I like the Allman Brothers. I think I only saw them once. Kenny Loggins, James Taylor, Dan Fogelberg, Fleetwood Mac, Grand Funk Railroad.
Love it.
Do you even know who they are?
Oh, yeah, I do.
All right.
Because I'm married to a man that's 8 years older than me. But go ahead.
Yeah. And then I saw Elton John when I was pregnant with my first child.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw him at Miami University.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if Jake could hear him.
Does Jacob know that?
I don't know. I probably told him. Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. And then, of course, even Elvis. So
yeah.
I've got a range.
Yeah, that's a huge range.
Yeah.
I think there's some other people you told me about you didn't mention. I'm trying to think of who it was now that I was. Anyway, I can't remember. All right. So you went to high school in the 70s. So you were in 7th and 8th grade in 70. You think? Because let's see,
I graduated from 8th grade in 1970.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah. So it was 1970 when I started high school.
Okay. So is there a classic song that will define like your high school years?
Well, I kind of, you kind of remember your senior year.
Yes,
most.
I think so too. Yeah.
I mean, I was probably a sophomore when I was allowed to date, so that's when I started seeing concerts and stuff. Yeah. But I would say the song that first comes to my mind, like of senior year, is "Ramblin Man" by the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
And what's so cool to me is that I think all three of my kids know the words to that song.
Oh, that is cool. That's what's so
the
nice.
The Allman Brothers was kind of like my house cleaning album that I would put on. So, it was a CD, so it was a greatest hits CD, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, so they know. And I remember one time my boss gave me tickets to the Beach Boys at the Phrase, and I took Jake. Oh and I was so surprised that, the Beach Boys probably came out in the 50s, I'm thinking. Jake knew the words just like I did.
Yeah, that's great. And Jacob, he's 41 now? How old is he?
42.
42? Okay, yeah. So that's cool, you know. Whenever Beach Boys I do not like.
Yeah,
so
I
funny.
remembered that.
Like you have, we're 4 years apart. And, I don't like the Beach Boys because of something else.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Anyway, an old boyfriend, and I just can't listen to them. And I like "Help Me, Rhonda." That's about the only one.
Okay.
But I noticed there's some songs that we'll probably get into that I like that just the 4 years made a difference, and some of the songs that we like.
Well, especially by the time you hit high school.
Yes.
What I liked.
Right.
Is not your thing anymore.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about my most memorable, not my favorite concert, but my
most memorable. Okay, yes.
Okay, so I graduated in 1974, and I think it was after graduation. So I'm thinking it was the summer or fall of 1974.
Okay.
Some girls that I went to school with, we decided we were going to go see Elvis. He was coming to UD, and we decided we were going to go see Elvis. And we took our mothers.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was in 1974, and he died in the summer of 77. So I just am really glad that I got to see him. And I'm really happy that I was there with my mom, who would have been growing up at the time.
Yes.
I was born in 1956, and I think that was probably right when he started becoming popular.
Yeah. So in high school, you were on the drill team at Carroll High School, and I loved listening and watching you. That was so fun. You were in parades.
Oh yeah,
parades.
And we had competitions.
Football. Yeah,
football,
it was so much
basketball.
fun. Do you have? Well, you had choreographed dances.
Yeah, our choreographer was really good.
Yeah.
Didn't appreciate her, then, but and I can't remember her name now. Our band director was Mr. Luzio.
Yes,
he did. We won a lot of competitions. So my favorite, during football season, so the drill team marched with the band, and then at the beginning, and then like at halftime, we did a halftime show, and at the end of like the halftime show, then just the drill team would do like a little dance number.
Yeah.
A lot of times it had a kick line in it.
Oh, that's fun.
So that was fun. But one year for competition, we did commercials, like famous or popular commercials at the time. And one was the Budweiser theme.
Yes.
And we marched to that. And I can't remember, there was like, I think 2 others. And I can't remember what they were. But our dance routine was to, I'd like to teach the world to sing.
Yes.
And it had a little kick thing. I almost remember the routine. Don't ask me to do it. But yeah, that was fun. And it was, I mean, I those were great friends, great memories.
I loved the Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, yeah. So during basketball season at halftime, we just did, a dance kind of number. Yeah.
And they should still do it now. I mean, that is such a good band song to play because it sounds so good.
Yeah, Hawaii 5-0.
I loved it. I loved it. So when you were in high school during the 70s, that was also during the Vietnam War. And there were some songs, too, that were protest.
There was a lot of songs in protest to the war. I think John Lennon did, he talked about peace a lot.
Yeah.
And songs I remember is, of course, Ohio.
Right.
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
That was Neil Young. I think that I wrote it down. That was Neil Young.
I thought it was all.
It might have been, but on my notes.
I thought
it says Ohio, Neil Young, 1970, a song about the killing of 4 students in an anti-war protest at Kent State.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
but
right.
I thought it was all of them.
Maybe it was. Yeah. You know what? I think I listened to it, and it was all of them.
Yeah. It was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. The other song that I really remember was, and I think a lot of people remember, is Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fortunate Son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Those are. I had some other ones that I looked up, and one was, I didn't realize this, "What's Going On" by Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
That one, it says, a song lamenting the fate of Vietnam era youth and the great divisions the war sparked. And then "Give Me Love" was George Harrison.
Yeah.
73. And Leonard Skinner I have down just because it was more about Watergate. Do you remember "Sweet Home Alabama"? That had some like Watergate and stuff in it.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
So I mean, there was some protest songs, and there still are. But the other thing that about the 1970s was that it was kind of the end of an era for the Beatles. Dissolved after that, and then,
they broke up. Yeah,
and then in the 1970s, it was the first time that you could listen to like funk, soul, R&B, pop, hard rock, soft rock, punk rock, easy listening, disco, and then at the end hip hop came around. But and no other decade before then could you listen, to
I know
that
you had
many.
a lot to choose from. I was never a fan of disco.
That's where we divide because I love it. You don't like the Bee Gees.
No, and
I love
Deana,
the Bee Gees.
I think Deana liked disco.
Oh, that is, yeah. So we have an older sister, Deana, that passed away 3 years ago, and we're going to talk about her at the end.
Okay.
And it'll be short because we don't really think she liked a range at all.
Right.
We
I
can
listen to
remember.
music all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
And if I was studying, it, like most people, it's like turn that off so you can study.
Right.
I study.
It didn't me. I can't.
Oh,
have
okay.
anything.
I liked it on in the background. For everything.
I kind of do now, but I couldn't if I really needed to study.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that good at it. Okay. So we're going to your 3 top go-to groups or songs that make you feel good. Your feel-good music.
The Eagles.
Which songs?
I like all of their songs.
Okay.
I can't think,
Is it Desperado one?
I
hate that song. I can't do it. Was played so
much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Eagles would be in there.
Okay.
Probably the Allman Brothers. I like them. I don't know. I loved Elvis.
Yes.
Van Morrison.
Yeah.
James Taylor. I don't know.
Yeah, I like James Taylor, Carole King are kind of, those are feel good.
I would have that album cover, but I wore out the album.
Yeah.
Tapestry.
You know, that played at Eastview Pool, like when we were, you know, in high school, in grade school. I mean, I just remember hearing that constantly at Eastview Pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a song or artist you hate? Okay, we already said the Bee Gees. You don't like the Bee Gees songs.
I wouldn't say I hate them.
I know you don't hate them. You don't like to listen.
I don't like nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't like rap. Mm-hmm. I especially don't like anything that has vulgar language.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't put that on the radio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but not all. I mean, there's some Christian rap. There's like clean
well, yeah,
rap.
that's true.
But you just in general don't like rap.
I wasn't putting them together.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just
because there's.
I mean, kidding around making up our own rap. It's just
fun.
not my favorite, but fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So do you have a karaoke song? Would it be the fireplace poker song? Or what? What's your karaoke?
I have never done.
I've never done it either.
First of all, I can't carry a tune.
Yeah.
My husband said, "Please don't sing lullabies to the children; they'll have nightmares."
None of us can sing. We're horrible. Our whole family. That we do not have that gift.
You know, Steve can sing.
He's not a blood relative. I'm just
I
saying
know.
if you're
Josh can sing.
Josh can sing.
Yeah.
I mean, Elena can sing.
Oh, Elena, his wife, sings.
Yeah.
And their kids sing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh has a good singing voice.
I didn't know that. I don't remember.
Dad.
Okay. Okay. I think my kids are okay. They do a cute Disney, you know.
Oh yeah, I've heard your kids. They do.
Yeah, they do a cute Disney.
Well, there's usually been
duet
alcohol involved by the time I hear them.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're more in tune. I don't know, with some whiskey. All right. What would be your theme music, your walk-up music, if you were on Johnny Carson?
Well, I mean, there is a song called Donna.
Yes.
It's by Richie Valens.
Okay.
Who died in a plane crash in 1959. Yeah. And he was only 17.
He was only, that was a great movie. I can't think of the name of it right now.
I don't know if I saw the movie, but.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So he died in a plane crash with Buddy Holly.
Okay.
Which the song American Pie is about that.
It is? Oh, that. Okay. I forgot about that.
The day the music died.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that song comes to mind. But, you know, if I was on Johnny Carson walking out, it's funny, but Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison.
Yes.
I had two boyfriends in high school. Yeah. One was a short one was a long time. They both, without knowing it, of course, they both used to sing that song to me.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
one wasn't short. You're just saying the length of time.
Not
I had a short boyfriend. And
no.
Then I had
Oh, yeah. No. Both of them were tall. But one was not a longtime boyfriend.
Yes.
My longtime boyfriend would like pick me up for a date, and when we'd get in the car, if there wasn't a good song on the radio, he would sing Brown Eyed Girl to me.
Oh, that's so sweet. You had nice boyfriends.
I did.
That's nice. Okay, again, you were popular. Whatever. All right. Is there any song you found out that you had the wrong lyrics to when you would sing it?
Elton John's Benny and the Jets, you know.
Yes.
Electric boots and mohair suit.
Mm-hmm.
I always sang electric boobs and mohair shoes.
Oh my gosh. I had a feeling we were just going to laugh the whole time, which my daughter Allie says cackling. So that we're cackling. So we're just, I think. All right. Is there a song that you despise because an ex liked it?
No, not really.
So,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I think that question's there because I do. So I just put it on there because nobody other than me. It's like Ricky's just like, no, I just listen to whatever I want to. So anyway, that's
even after we broke up, you know, like, it was still good memories. So Like even that song.
You still had good memories after you broke up.
Yes.
Okay. We also differ there. Okay. Is there a song that makes you cry, and why?
You know the song, and I'm going to start crying
Is
now.
it Ave Maria?
No, I love that song.
Okay.
And that does make me cry.
Which one? I don't know what you're
El
talking.
Paso.
Oh, I know. True.
Dad's favorite song.
I knew we were going to cry.
Dad's favorite song. It was by Marty Robbins, and he would play it downstairs in the family room.
Oh my gosh.
On the stereo.
Yes.
I think it was a 78 record.
Yeah.
Which they don't make anymore. Mm-hmm. And he played it over and over and over again.
He did.
And my kids know the words to that song.
When we obviously know the words because we heard it all the time. It's just like, Dad, stop. You're not supposed to play it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What song would you dance to at your wedding, or did you dance to?
You know, when I saw this question, or you asked somebody else, I was trying to think of it. I do not remember the song that we danced to, our first dance. I don't know if we just didn't pick it, or... Yeah. I wasn't drinking, so I don't know why I don't remember. But I do know that at my next wedding, it will be an Elvis song, and it will be in Hawaii.
All right. Note to all the men out there.
Destination wedding.
Okay. All right. We kind of talked about this, but did you watch any musical shows? Which you said so that
Sonny and Cher, Laughing. Ed Sullivan.
I remember Mom and Dad watching Ed Sullivan.
And Dean Martin. I liked him.
Yeah,
he always pretended he was drunk, and he did such a good job.
Yes.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun. What did you watch? Okay, what does music mean to you?
You really don't know how much of music is part of your life until like you do something like this.
Yeah.
To me, music is very comforting. It can relax me, motivate me, evoke memories.
Yes, true.
Bring joy and just be entertaining.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever mood you're in or whatever mood you're trying to get out of.
Yeah, right.
There's a song for that.
Yes, there is. There is a song for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think of like, a hard day at work and the kids are driving me nuts. Or, they go to their dad's for the weekend. Kenny G and a relaxing bubble bath.
Yes.
I mean, perfect.
Yes.
I mean,
true.
my cleaning house song was, the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
There's favorite songs for praising God.
Yes.
Driving on vacation.
Yes.
Dancing or just hanging out with friends.
Yeah. That's true.
It really connects people.
It does.
Which your podcast is demonstrating.
Yeah, because what is nice is that so we're in our 60s and even our grandchildren listen and like songs that, and two, I listen to what they like and I like it too. I mean, I wouldn't know about what's going on. I mean,
that's a song.
Really don't, we don't really, that is a song. Hey, what's going on? But I don't listen to the radio pop music. I mostly listen to 80s. And so the songs that I know about are because of my grandchildren. So it does connect us.
My kids like country.
Yeah.
And, I didn't.
Aaron likes country.
I didn't like country.
No.
But its country is a little different.
Yes.
But even now, I like my dad's country.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I would ever like Johnny Cash, but I do.
Yeah, right.
And even my granddaughters, my grandchildren like country.
Yes.
Not all of them, but
yeah. I know when we sing or we're out at the pool, I know me and Malia both will listen to country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
and
interesting.
It made me listen, and I do like it.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like country because it tells a story.
It does.
And I like, the story. So that's cool. Do you have a favorite obscure song that you'd like to, maybe people haven't heard before that you'd like people to listen to?
I really like the song. It's by the Eagles.
Okay.
I Wish You Peace.
Mm.
A lot of die-hard Eagles fans don't like it.
Yeah.
I think it was actually when one of the band members were leaving when it was written. But it's kind of a farewell. I wish you good luck.
Okay.
Kind of
letting
go and moving on. Yeah, kind of like that.
I'm going to look it up. I'll share that so that we can all.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. What band or musical artist, you didn't want me to ask this, and I didn't have it. I didn't mark it off.
Influential.
It was influential because you don't really know.
I would say there's really not one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
maybe the Eagles.
I really like the Eagles, but when I think about, like when I was my husband knew that I loved Elvis.
Yes.
He, and he has a good voice, and he would sing Elvis.
Yeah.
Not as good as Elvis, but he would sing Elvis to me. But in high school, not many people knew I really liked Elvis. It was,
not
old.
Yes.
So
cool.
He was so different at his time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Michael Jackson got his dance moves from watching Elvis.
Yes.
True. And Elvis had a good range. I mean, he did gospel.
Yeah.
He brought a lot of the music, like Little Richard, like stuff that a lot of people didn't listen to.
Right.
Yeah.
I loved his movies. I remember we went to the drive-in to see Tickle Me.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, his movies were kind of hokey. I think if they let him, he could have been a better actor. Yeah. But they were fun to watch.
Yeah, they were fun.
Mainly you just watched them so you could hear him sing, at least for me.
Yeah.
But like his movie Blue Hawaii, it'll be my next wedding. We'll have one of those songs.
Okay. No, I got the. Okay. If you had, here's a new question I have. If you had a band, what would your band name be?
Well,
okay,
it would be you and Deana and me.
All right, of course.
And Deana was a big fan of Haley Mills movies.
Oh yes.
There was a movie called
Moon Spinners, as you told me.
Moon Spinners, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I always thought that would be a good name for our band.
It is a good name. That's a cool name. I like it. All right. Now, Luke had wanted to add some questions, so here's Luke's. What is your favorite instrument?
There's that. It's hard. I have grandchildren that play the piano. That are taking guitar lessons, but I've always kind of liked the harp,
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a beautiful sound.
Yes.
The instrument itself is pretty.
Yes.
Angelic.
Now, did you learn to play an instrument?
Mom wanted us to take piano lessons, so Deana and I took it from a little old nun down at the Loretto in downtown Dayton.
Was the Loretto a convent?
I don't remember.
It was cool inside. It's closed.
Oh yeah, it was.
I remember dropping you guys off. It was beautiful.
The stairway, the banisters, the woodwork. I mean, it was a beautiful place, but I just couldn't do it. Deana took lessons longer than I did.
Okay.
Maybe I took a year.
All right. Okay. Here's another one of Luke's questions. What country other than the U.S. has music that you enjoy?
Well, back in the 70s, a lot of the rock bands were like from other countries, a lot from UK, Scottish.
Yeah.
But what I really like, I think, is Caribbean music, like calypso, that steel drum. I mean, it just makes you feel like you want to be on a beach.
It does.
Relaxing.
Yeah, it does. This is another Luke's, has your love of music ever got you into a crazy situation?
Not that I can remember, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
It stays in the vault. Okay. And here is you have a question you want to add. you want to hear about people's road trip songs. So what's your road trip song?
My top two would, of course, be Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Eagles, Take It Easy.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, here's some extra questions. Okay. I mentioned I was teasing you when I was trying to come up with some memories for us. And I put this on our Instagram, but I said, were you at the Playboy Club in Chicago? Because I just remember something.
I was actually supposed to go. Okay. A guy that I was dating was going to school in Chicago. And I don't know what birthday. He was having a birthday, and they were all going to go to the Playboy Club. So I was going to fly in and go. And, when you asked me that question, I kept thinking, I feel like I remember that, but I don't really remember being there. And I think what happened is I got sick and I couldn't go. So he had to go without a date to his birthday celebration.
Okay. There's another interesting thing. There was a record store in downtown Dayton that had a photo of you on their wall. What was the name of the store, and what was that about?
I kept trying to think of the name of that, and I kept thinking Pine Tree, maybe because of the Pine Club.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was called The Forest. It was down by UD.
All right.
I never saw the picture, but people kept telling me that, did you see that picture of you at the record store? So there was a group that came to Hare Arena. They were called Babe Ruth.
Okay.
And at one point in their performance, could have been at the end, they were throwing out Baby Ruth bars.
Okay.
And I stood up on my chair to catch, it was candy.
Yes, exactly.
Chocolate. So
it's delicious.
Yeah, I stood up on my chair to catch a candy bar, and somebody snapped a picture.
Okay. All right. You were a ballerina for about, was it 10 years, you think?
Yeah. I took lessons for 10 years. Okay. I wouldn't call myself a ballerina.
And you and Deana went to Chicago and danced at an event. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
What kind of music was it?
I was, I think I was 13, and it was so cool. It was my first trip, I think, without my parents. And I remember back then you dressed up when you flew.
Yeah.
You didn't wear your pajamas.
Yeah.
So I had a dress on. I had my little train case. Yeah. And, we went to Chicago. And it was like a convention where they had different choreographers. And you would just dance all week. And, you would sign up or you would go to different dances. Yeah. You just go to them. And the only one I actually really remember is the song was Do You Know the Way to San Jose? Yeah. And it was a jazz number.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
I don't know if I really like the routine or I really like the song. That's the only one I really remember.
Okay. All right. I just have in my notes, I just wanted to bring this up because in the 70s, music soundtracks were really good, but I just have this note. It says music from Jaws. I mean, that's from the 70s, but the music from Jaws, I mean, I
know. Your heart would start pounding.
Yeah.
Because you knew. Yeah, who did that?
I can't remember.
I remember.
I didn't know I was going to talk about it, so I forgot to look it up.
Yeah.
But, it's just talking about how music can affect you like that. Now, years later, decades later, I still can't. Yeah. And how many people would not go into the ocean after that? And
I went sailing at Cowan Lake.
Yeah.
Sailboat in a lake. And I could not stop watching the water for sharks. Yes. And my boyfriend is like, there are no sharks in a lake. And I'm like, I'm just going to watch.
And that would have not been the same if it wasn't for that music.
I know.
It was, okay.
I know. Yeah. I'm going to have to look up. There was... Oh, well.
Okay.
You have another question about a soundtrack, don't you?
Okay, yeah, I do. Okay, so that's at my fire round. Are you ready? So, okay, we're at the fire round session. What's your best album cover that you liked?
Yeah, the one I remember, the one that sticks out is, of course, I'm a chocoholic. Chicago they had an album that looked like a candy bar, like a Hershey bar. Only it said Chicago on it, and the wrapper was peeled back.
Oh, that's cool.
That one stands out.
Okay. And that's not here. It's not in your collection.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's it right there? Okay.
See the
Okay.
candidate.
Okay. I'll put that online because that's okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Best workout song.
My kids will cringe, but Paula Abdul, Opposites Attract.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
I mean, it just like
I love Paula Abdul.
yeah. I mean, she was a great dancer.
Yeah, she was.
And yeah,
Or
it's
is.
kind of motivation. Yeah.
Yeah. Best musical.
I don't have a favorite. There was, I like them all from Wizard of Oz to West Side Story.
Yes.
I mean, Jets and the Shark and dancing and the Kinley Players
in Dayton.
Dayton at Memorial Hall every summer. They did a musical and they brought in like one or two guests that were like, popular. Somebody like I saw Oklahoma there, and it was John Davidson.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so that was fun. I like that one. Memorable is my last musical I went with Deana. Mm-hmm. Her friend Gloria gave her tickets because Gloria couldn't go, and Deana. And I went to see The Lion King, which was great. It was really,
that in
really
Dayton?
good. It was at the Schuster Center in Dayton. It was probably about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Had to be
probably
4.
about 6 years ago.
Okay.
Probably about 6 years ago. So that's memorable.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was a really, really, it was really, really good, but it was, you kind of remember those last times you did something with someone that's passed. And then a biggie was when Mom and I went to your friend Trisha's wedding in New York City.
Yeah.
And she got us tickets to Les Miserables.
I didn't know she got you guys tickets.
Yeah. Well, we paid for them, but I said we'd like to go to a Broadway play. Can you get us tickets? And paid her back for them. Yeah. So I went with Mom to see.
That is so great. Yeah. Aw. Okay, the next is the best soundtrack of a movie.
Oh, yeah. So we were talking about soundtracks.
Yes.
Yeah. So another movie soundtrack that comes up is I loved Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
And Out of Africa. And the composer was John Barry. Yeah. And he did a lot of James Bond. Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he did Jaws, but I remember when we took the kids to Yellowstone, we put that soundtrack into Dances with Wolves.
Oh my gosh.
And listened to it while we were driving around, because everywhere you went if you were going out to eat from one place to another, it took you,
forever.
An hour and a half to get there.
Okay.
But probably the soundtrack that I actually went out and bought was the soundtrack to the movie The Big Chill.
Yes.
It was kind of Motown music, and I love that.
Oh, I love that soundtrack. Yeah. It's better than the movie.
It was the best thing of the movie.
That's why you like the movie, the soundtrack.
Right.
Yeah. Best music video.
Okay, so I'm old, so I don't know if I've ever actually seen a music video. Even Michael Jackson, like Thriller and people talk about. I did not have MTV when my kids were growing up.
I think that started in 81.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was all about raising kids then.
Yeah.
But what I think of when you say that is Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley.
Yeah. That would have been a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it is in the movie.
Yeah.
Best musical TV show.
I love Sonny and Cher. Mm-hmm. I like their
banter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, it was always funny.
They're very funny.
And, of course, they always had good people on.
Yeah, they did.
And, of course, I wanted to see what she was going to wear.
I know. She wore the coolest clothes. And I was going to talk about that, too, because I think the 70s had the coolest clothes.
Crochet tops.
You had hip
bell
huggers.
Bottoms.
The hot pants. I don't know if any
pants, mini skirts.
Hot pants were like really short shorts.
Yeah.
Do you remember clog? And what else was popular? Like afros. People got perms like afros were really popular. So, okay, best live performance.
Well, when you look back, you think they were all great. I can't remember a bad one. And being there with your boyfriend or a bunch of girls, your mom, they were all fun. But if you would have asked me, 20 years ago, my answer would have been different probably than now. But now when I think back, it was the first year the Phrase Pavilion opened. Yeah. And James Taylor came. Wow. And a friend and I had seats on the lawn. So we're sitting on a beach towel in the grass.
Who's the friend?
Somebody from work, Wendy from work.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to see James Taylor. And
that is cool.
And you just felt like he was sitting like you were having a picnic together, only he's singing, you know?
They don't have good people anymore. Now they have, it's like tribute bands. I don't know what went down because they used to have really good people.
They built that one in Newber Heights.
Yes.
Which is bigger. Yeah. So I think maybe the artist would rather perform there than.
I don't know.
I remember, I think it was James Taylor when he said, we're in a neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah. And exactly. And you used to we would just sit
outside.
You could take your dogs and then
bring
later
your cooler.
bring your cooler and we had so much and they sit by the fountains and it was fun. And then they kind of wanted people to stop doing that. So so they need to change. They need to go back. Yeah. Back in time. Right. Okay, you are done.
All right.
That was fun. Did I miss something?
Everything?
I don't know.
have no idea.
Look through and see. I did want to talk about Deana.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't cried yet.
Well, we did when we talked about Ave Maria in El Paso.
Okay, so we were like racking our brain because we're looking at all of your albums. You have so many, and a lot of my music love is all because of you. So, but I'm looking here. It was not because of Deana, because I don't think she had an album. I can't remember.
When we shared a room, if I had the radio on, she'd come in and turn it off. And it probably wasn't because she didn't want to hear music. It's just because I was listening to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sisters. But even when you said, we haven't cried yet. Yeah. And we said El Paso. What do you remember at Daddy's funeral? Deana was so funny.
Yeah. When she was.
When when the nun came in to ask if we had any favorite songs that Daddy would want at his funeral, and Deana goes, "Do you know Turkey in the Straw or El Paso?"
Oh my gosh, she was so funny.
She was funny, but she liked Daddy's country music.
She did,
and we'd get in the car.
And as you say, she was a daddy's girl.
Oh yeah, she was. Anything Daddy liked was, she liked. Yeah. So yeah,
she had to have one that likes.
Yes. Yeah. And I think she did like disco and.
You remembered she liked Rock the Boat.
Oh,
and that's
Rock Your Boat or something like that. I can't remember.
It was. I looked it up. It was Rock the Boat. It was the Hughes Corporation, and it was one of the first disco songs.
Really?
Yes. I didn't realize it was disco until I read that it was disco.
Okay.
But
I never liked that song.
I like disco, and so maybe that's something Deana and I had in common. It really is. Of course, she was in ballet with you, so she liked, and there was always Tchaikovsky and all of that in the ballet music.
And that's one thing ballet did. It made us become more aware of classical music.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember she was in Brigadoon in high school.
Oh, yeah. And then, she spoke with an accent for, the month after.
She was very theatrical.
She was.
Yeah. She's Rory is a lot like her. Like Deana would watch a Haley Mills movie and talk with an English accent for several weeks. Yeah. And same with Brigadoon. She had the Scottish accent. Yeah. I remember she graduated in 1973, so she was only a year older than you. So she was born in 55, and I remember the Carpenters were popular then, and it seemed like maybe Prom was something was it?
My senior prom was a Jim Croce song, Time in a Bottle.
Yeah, I think it seems like I remember her yearbook had maybe. It seemed like the Carpenters seemed
close to you.
Maybe that was it. Song. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking about was, I told you this, is that I remember her first husband, Ron. We were all at a pool, and he hated Seals and Croft. And they played it the whole time, and we were dying because they just kept playing this song. Anyway, that is, and you even talked to her friend Gloria, and we cannot remember.
Right. Yeah. Now, I do know, before she passed away, she said, at my viewing, play Wind Beneath My Wings.
Yes, she loved that movie, Beaches.
And I think that was because of her relationship with Gloria.
Yeah.
They were best friends since sixth grade.
Yeah. And yeah, she loved that movie.
Okay.
We'll cut it off anyway. Anyway, thank you, Donna. Right, you were nervous about this, and it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, and
I hope the laughter doesn't overtake.
Yeah, sorry for our cackling.
Yeah,
but it happens. So, my next guest is going to be Allie.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so I try to do young, old, so we don't stay stuck in the 50s or 70s and go back. Yes.
All right.
And I'm going to try to get Mia on here. I know Mia's seen a million concerts, so we'll try to get. My grandchildren said no way, so I'll try to get yours.
Did you ask Mia?
No, okay. I think I mentioned it to her once that she's gonna, and I know she's home for the summer, so I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
try to get her on. So
okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.